reported for years about the proposals to develop on the western side of the Cape Fear River.
New Hanover County Commissioners voted today to keep studying what kind of project may be feasible on that property. WECT's Ashley Balsavius reports there are a lot of issues to deal with before anything gets built.
It's been a topic of debate for years, whether to allow developers to build commercial and residential projects on the western bank of the Cape Fear River. Some critics call the idea a potential environmental disaster given the flooding the area sees. Jonathan Barfield says he and his fellow New Hanover County Commissioners need to take their time before they give any project a green light.
You know, there's a process for everything. If you rush the process, you're going to probably get things wrong down the road.
Another concern for Barfield, response times in the case of an emergency.
Now you got to provide rescue services there, water, fire, and police to something that's really outside of your scope, so to speak. I mean, going across the bridge, getting to those areas will be a tremendous challenge.
Even with those concerns, county commissioners voted Monday to keep studying the options, saying the next steps, including planning studies and public input, will give them more information. Rebecca Roth is the county director of planning and land use. She says some questions may go unanswered.
There was still a lot of uncertainty as to what eventual development might look like, and a lot of uncertainty related to what we were seeing as increased flooding.
They have a lot of work to do with the ultimate goal of reducing risk for the community. Barfield says while a development of this magnitude might sound appealing to some, it comes down to ecological impacts.
Initially, my thought was it'd be great to have something like downtown Savannah with, a hotel, a convention center on one side, great development on the other side. But environmentally, if it doesn't fit, it just doesn't fit. And we got to make that determination.
For now, this empty land across from downtown Wilmington will stay the way it is. Ashley Balsavius, WECT News.